I'm Kerry. I make animal-themed art under the name Bamboo Bandit Art. Why the name? It's a long story for another time. Um, I work in a range of media, and I create a bunch of different products. I have original works, prints, greetings cards, mostly pun based. The more terrible the pun, the better. And unique wooden gifts. I also love creating pet portraits. That's one of my favourite things to do. This is the boss, Mikey. He is very strict with break times and makes sure we get lots of playtime. He's definitely a very good boss to work for. Basically, as a child, ever since I can remember, I always loved both nature and art, especially animals and art related to animals. I was always exploring zoos and farms, museums and galleries, and usually with a sketchbook in hand. If I didn't have a sketchbook, I'd have a camera. And I enjoyed doing art at school, but I decided to follow a science route. I wanted to learn how animals think, so I went and did a degree in animal behaviour. Carried on doing art as a hobby and was selling a few pet portraits as a sort of sideline, mostly just because I enjoyed doing it so much. And then in 2018, I was in a position where I could start things from scratch. I had some good advice from the job centre and other business advisors, and they suggested that now was a good time to invest my time and a little bit of money into making art full time. And it's still early days. I'm still starting out. There's a long way to go before I would consider myself a success, but so far I think it's been a good decision, and I'm certainly happy doing what I'm doing, and my feedback so far has been great. So my main inspiration has always been nature, particularly animals of all shapes and sizes. Artistically, I get my inspiration from so many different places. I've been fascinated by scientific drawings and anatomical notes, things like sketches by Da Vinci, Raphael. As a child, I was so inspired by Beatrix Potter's stories and the illustrations that went with them. And then as an adult, I've discovered her beautiful scientific illustrations. I'm interested in the detailed engravings and etchings. It's a style I would love to explore more and get more involved in, but I do feel it is reflected in some of my ink work, particularly with the sort of shading and hatching. I love comics and graphic novels, which again I think comes across in some of my ink pieces. I love tattoos. I've got quite a few. Again, mostly sort of animal based. So yeah, that's where a lot of my inspiration comes from. So my favourite thing in my shop is probably any of my greetings cards with puns on them. just because I love watching people's reactions when they read them, and I like making people laugh. I guess after that, the next favourite thing in my shop would probably be the large wooden decorations that I do, just because they're great for like getting sort of details in, and I can do, I've got a bunch of animals. I do custom requests. I've had some really interesting ones, and I'm thinking about starting to do some custom pet portraits as well, as the decorations seem quite popular. This year I am aiming to create more shop space on my website, with the aim of making it easier to sell more of my original work online, and also to reduce fees and things from other online shop platforms that I'm using. I've also been busy preparing a Patreon page, which will allow people to contribute monthly, and they will get access to exclusive content and other goodies depending on which tier they sign up to. So keep an eye out for that. Challenges this year. It's just going to be getting back into the habit of creating regular content with updates and blogs and things, and interacting face to face with customers again, because that's something I was just starting to get used to, and I haven't been doing it for a year and a bit now, so that's going to be interesting. It should be a good year for opportunities now that things are starting to slowly open up again. I can get back to more sort of physical selling in the real world. We've got events starting to appear on the horizon. I'm going to be looking at getting some things into sort of shops and galleries in the local area. We've also got a new local pop-up shop that's going to be appearing, so I'm going to see what happens with that. Yeah, so there's lots of things in the pipeline. Fingers crossed we can get them all going.